Yeah. People used to say, you talk too much. Thought it was a flaw until my lyrics blew up. Realized they just didn't want to use their last brain cell. I have to actually sit still and listen up. They didn't care to intellectually come up. I thought they were irritated, turns out they intimidated. Standing there in silence with no thoughts, just stuck. Well, I was building galaxies with a notebook and a pencil cup. Only pop culture fans could get their eyes to light up. Then they fade back black when the hype dried up. In my younger days I wanted what my peers wouldn't. Reading every book, bitch said it couldn't. At the library studying topics they thought I shouldn't. Teacher said fit the mold, be normal like the others. I didn't. Put my thoughts in space and time and matters more prudent. While so-called friends play smart, it was translucent. Every time I spark a new concept, they reacting straight up like I already knew that. They said I asked too many questions in class. Couldn't sit still, always thinking too fast. Doodling stories and equations in the back of my notes, but they were memorizing lines that someone else wrote. They said I daydreamed way too much, that my mind wandered and I lost my touch. But I wasn't distracted, I was building ideas, seeing 10 years ahead while they only saw what was right here. They called it weird that I like being alone. Said I was quiet, too stuck in my own zone. So which is it, do I talk too much or not enough? They may find my true myself so rough. That loner phase was me learning myself, stacking knowledge like books on a shelf. My English grades were so bad back then. You'd think English wasn't my first language. Red ink bleeding all over my page. Teacher said writing's just not your thing, kid. But seeing in their eyes the dreams were all dead. They told me I couldn't write plain and clear. Said my thoughts were messy, nowhere near. Never write perfectly, but my mind moved faster than lines on paper. Ideas too big for a teenage grader. They saw mistakes, I saw vision. They saw limits, I saw ambition. Now look at me filling these lines with rhythm. Same kid they doubted, but I never quit them. They said I talk too much, now I'm paid to speak. Said I was too deep, now they replay every week. Said I thought too hard, made things complex. Now my thoughts connect like the chain around my neck. Said I didn't fit in, didn't follow the trend, but following crowds was never my end. All those flaws they tried to correct were early signs I was built different. They tried to shrink me down to size, but pressure makes diamonds rise. So if you were that kid they misunderstood, just know, different doesn't mean not good. I'm always staring at the ceiling at night, feeling like my brain won't turn off, so I continue to write. Thought something was wrong with the way I was wired. Why my thoughts burn hotter than the rest even when I was tired. Every report felt like a weight on my chest. Not attending your potential stamped underneath and prove 'em. They never saw the battles going on in my head. Just a quiet kid, falling short on a standardized test. I tried shrinking down just to fit the desk. Tried lowering my voice, tried be less. But every time I'm in my own flame, I could feel myself fading away. So I stopped apologizing for the way I think. Stop asking permission just to speak. If my mind's too loud, just get the fuck out. If I stand out, I stand out. You all stand down, this is my moment to shout. Called a problem I had to fix, but it was purpose, and now I see it. They said I talk too much, now I'm paid to speak. Said I was too deep, now they study my technique. Said I overthought, said I think too wide. Now my overthinking is the reason I thrive. My mind so broad is now the reason I garner applause. Said I wouldn't make it, said I couldn't write. Now these same hands turn pain into light. I'm converting all the wrongs into right. Red ink covered every page I turn. Now every red mark is a lesson I earned. They try to lower my voice, told me quiet down. Now I move whole crowds when I make a sound. They said I didn't fit, that I stood out wrong. Now being different is my biggest song. You called it a flaw, God called it a gift. They tried to surround me with walls, I built a door and walked through it. They said I was broken, I was just a head. Too many thoughts in a young kid's head. They tried to fix what they didn't understand. Now I hold my future in these same two hands. All those nights I felt out of place, like the world moved slow in a different pace. They called you weird, they called you wrong. One day they'll also sing along to your song.